With Harrison Ford set to play Thunderbolt Ross in Captain America Brave New World, let's break down exactly what makes the Red Hulk so dangerous and important moving forward in the MCU. The Rogues Gallery for the Incredible Hulk is surprisingly ripe, and the Jade Giant has some compelling antagonists to choose from, some of the best in all of comics, not the least of which is the Red Hulk. Alongside the likes of the Abomination, the Absorbing Man, and the Leader, the Red Hulk continues to be one of Marvel's most significant threats. So today, let's talk about everything you need to know about the Red Hulk ahead of the release of Captain America 4. First and foremost, the identity of this iconic Hulk variant is Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, who is going to again be played by Harrison Ford after the unfortunate passing of William Hurt. Ross's primary goal is to contain the Hulk, and even without the Red Hulk persona, Ross is still one of the Hulk's most tenacious enemies despite being entirely human. He is a US Army general who has dedicated himself to the capture of the Incredible Hulk, and when you break down how he understands that character, these intentions come from a noble standpoint. It is important to touch on the fact that the comics are a bit inconsistent regarding Ross's military affiliation, as he's mostly depicted as an army general, but has also been shown in an Air Force uniform. And in the comics, he has been allowed to command forces from both branches, but his actual status gets a bit ambiguous at times. At the most fundamental level though, Ross is trying to keep people safe, but he's taken more and more extreme measures in order to satiate his obsession with Hulk. The prelude to him taking on the Red Hulk persona actually came about while the Hulk was no longer on Earth. At that point in the comics, the Hulk had been exiled by the Illuminati, who had loaded him onto a rocket and shot him into the depths of space. Betty Ross was dead at this point, having been killed by the Abomination, and now General Ross was quite literally left with nothing. His daughter had died, and he didn't even have his mission to stop the Hulk in order to help him cope. The Hulk was no longer a factor. This led Ross into a self-destructive downward spiral of alcoholism and depression, as he systematically lost all reason to live. Eventually though, word of the Hulk's imminent return made its way to Earth, and a few of the Hulk's former foes understood that they had to prepare for the Beast's revenge. The Hulk was coming, and he was extremely angry, setting off the events of World War Hulk after Planet Hulk. So, in order to stop this, the Leader, MODOK, and Doc Samson began hatching a plan to contain the Hulk, and on Earth at the time, there was no one more intimately familiar with the Hulk's weaknesses than General Ross. So the team got to work, and with a series of satellites, they were able to recreate a circuit that could siphon the gamma energy from the Hulk, severely limiting his power. When this encounter took place, they were successful in depowering the Hulk, and eventually, they were even able to get their hands on Banner. Now they had the means to perfect the Hulk transformation. Initially, the Hulk was caused by a split personality within Banner's mind, which is why he and the Hulk are two separate people. The Hulk is a manifestation of Banner's rage, and quite literally the inner voice that he developed in order to keep him safe. What the team wanted to do with this though, was to figure out a way to give someone the ability to transform with complete control over not just the transformation, but their mental stability as well. Was it possible to give someone the strength of the Hulk while keeping it completely under lock and key? As it turns out, the answer was yes, it was possible, and the subject in question to undergo this procedure was General Ross. He then transformed into the Hulk, complete with his regular mind and total control over what he does and when he transforms. This allows him to keep his military precision and his tactical mind while also being on par with the Hulk in terms of strength and durability. In the MCU, we've seen what someone like this can do if they ever learned how to properly fight with precision and finesse, rather than someone like the Hulk who just smashes his way through obstacles. We are of course talking about Thanos, who was able to use his combat training to beat the Hulk into submission, not just because the Hulk was weaker, which is not true, but because he was less disciplined. This is the same basis for the advantage that General Ross has over the Hulk when he is in the Red Hulk form. It's important to note though that when Ross gets angrier, he doesn't get stronger, he grows hotter, and he can become more powerful by absorbing nearby radiation. This is because as Ross gets angrier, the level of energy that he radiates gets stronger and stronger until eventually it reaches a tipping point. The process of the Red Hulk getting hotter starts with a simple heat increase, but if he pushes things too far, Red Hulk literally catches on fire. This can be pushed even further though, as he has been able to give off a massive surge of this radiation all at once, and in essence, basically explode. The benefits of this though, if you can call it a benefit, is mostly unintentional, and it happens as he overheats with too much effort or exertion. This is a major difference between himself and the Green Hulk, because by default, the Green Hulk theoretically does not have a limit. His strength is only measured by his anger, but we haven't seen this be much of a handicap when the Hulk actually gets too angry, unlike Ross. The Hulk just gets stronger, seemingly with no upper limit to how angry and how strong the Hulk can actually get. The Red Hulk, though, can overheat with too much anger, even though getting him to this point can be disastrous. He'd demolish whoever is around him before reverting back to his human form, which leaves many heroes to wonder if this way of defeating him is worth the collateral damage that it would cause. As far as his physical strength and capabilities go, the Red Hulk is a force to be reckoned with. He's even gotten to the point where he can contend with cosmic level threats, including being able to ambush the Odin Force powered Thor and defeat him relatively quickly when he wasn't expecting an attack. It should also be noted that their second fight did not go so well for Ross, but with the proper tactical edge and military training, Ross is capable of fighting characters of this caliber. He has been shown to be on par with not just the Hulk, but superior to the Abomination, who can be defeated relatively easily, and he's even contended with the likes of the Watcher and Beta Ray Bill. He has the physical power to knock out Uatu, and Beta Ray Bill usually finds himself on even footing with the Red Hulk, with this being Red Hulk's base form. But he has also stolen the power cosmic from the Silver Surfer, which fed right into the propensity to absorb radiation, even though he was an outlier and is far from the default version of his power and what the Red Hulk is capable of normally. In his base form, his durability and stamina are undeniably magnificent, as we haven't seen any major limits to just how long he can fight before Red Hulk naturally tires, since latent atmospheric radiation can also help him stay in the fight and remain energized whenever he needs it. But what about the character's weaknesses? Well, they are few and far from in between. He's much more mentally stable and controlled than the Green Hulk is, so heroes can't often rely on his sporadic nature. His ability to absorb radiation, though, does give him a particularly noticeable vulnerability to negative zone energy, which doesn't exactly empower him, but rather drains him. As far as direct kryptonite for the Red Hulk, though, this is probably the closest solution, though we do know that he's vulnerable to attacks by powerful telepaths and psychic forces, so his mind does remain a weak point even though it is superior to the Hulk's mind. In terms of Ross, though, he is particularly vulnerable because he doesn't have one distinct advantage that Bruce has, and that is that for Bruce, he and the Hulk are two separate entities. The Hulk is always looking out for Banner, leading him away from serious injury. If Banner is ambushed and injured, or even killed in some cases, the Hulk is able to reawaken regardless of Banner's physical condition. And while in Hulk form, the body will heal, and Banner will have no injuries once he returns to human form. With the Red Hulk, though, he is one entity and one consciousness, and decides actively when he transforms. If Ross is captured or ambushed, he doesn't have a default transformation setting built in like Banner does, and if someone can kill him while he is Ross, then there's nothing that he'd be able to do to heal. Ross needs to be conscious in order to awaken the Hulk, which means that if someone fails to assassinate General Ross, they would better be ready for a fight of their lives, because once the Red Hulk is unleashed, it's basically over. But anyway, friends, what do you think of the Red Hulk's imminent debut in Brave New World? Are you excited to see him clash with the Hulk one day? And what other Gamma beings would you like to see make their return or appearance in the MCU? What are your thoughts on the Red Hulk and Captain America? And out of all of the Gamma characters, such as Abomination, A-Bomb, Doc Samson, Amadeus Cho, and more, who would you like to see? As always, my friends, thank you so much for watching the channel. Hulk smash that subscribe button for more Marvel lore, and have a phenomenal day.